Welcome. Welcome to Manifestation Mondays with Marcy. I'm your host, Marcy Newman. You know me as the Heart Shift Coach, and today we have some real heart shifting to do. You see, I'd like to speak with you about your expectations and how they affect everything that you do, and of course, including your manifestations. In fact, this may surprise you, but your expectations can either help or hinder your manifestations. So let's dive in a little bit deeper. You see, well, let me start here instead. I want to ask you a question. Have you ever wanted something so badly and you have done everything that you could to manifest this one thing? You've read all the books. You have dedicated yourself to thinking about this, to making certain that you were completely committed to creating this in your life. And you would let no one distract you. Nothing. You did absolutely everything. You said your mantras every single morning. You said your prayers. You stood to the east. You did everything you could think of. Only to realize that none of it seemed to matter. And you threw your hands up in complete despair and said, "That's it. I am not doing this anymore. This is all a bunch of crock, and I have better things to do with my life. If there is this universe that's going to respond to me, I don't know how to make it. I don't have any idea." And so you do that. You throw everything in the trash. You say, "That's it. I'm just going about my business." And lo and behold, one day you realize your manifestation is right there, living in your life. And you turn around and you say, "What the heck happened?" Well, here's a little secret. That moment in despair, when you gave up your hope, your dreams, you also gave up your expectations. And you opened the floodgates for the universe to respond to you. Now, this seems to be the complete antithesis to what I may have been telling you about manifestation. But if you've been paying attention to the most recent videos, you will recall that I've been talking about how important it is that you are flexible, that you recognize that whatever it is that you are seeing for yourself literally is like looking at the entire universe through a keyhole. You are seeing that little of what's waiting for you. You're also not even seeing all the things that are actually coming into your field as evidence that the universe is fast at work in bringing this manifestation to you. But very often what happens is that our expectations put us into this realm of, aside from being inflexible, we lose our heart feed. It becomes a head thing instead. And what we know is that manifestation must come from your heart or it will never fulfill you. Never. It will be yet another thing that you will dispose of. And this is also where a lot of people get so confused. Because they work to manifest something. It comes into their lives and they say, this isn't really what makes me feel good. And it's because you're manifesting from a place that there is a disconnect from source and from the love that you are. So we need to start to connect these dots. It's like a jigsaw puzzle that we're putting together. And of course, the captain of that ship is you. You're the one navigating this. And so you've also heard me emphasize recently how important it is that you are consciously aware, not just of your thoughts, but consciously aware of your feelings, because your feelings tell all. They're going to tell you what the result is going to be. So what happens when we give up the expectations? And it's especially delightful, I think, to the universe when you do it in despair and you're filled with doubt and frustration, because now it can prove to you that it's been listening, it's been working for you, it's been doing its part. So where in the equation has something sort of gone awry? Well, we know it's always us. It's always us. So these expectations that we have that create the inflexibility and create an atmosphere in our field of whatever it is that we're looking to manifest, it must fit all of this criteria. Very often, it's like trying to put a square peg in a round hole. It doesn't work. So what we need to understand is that these nuances that I've been speaking to you about are absolutely essential. And it's more important than your thoughts even, or, your will that you put to work for you. The nuance is what you've heard me speak of in the past as the ability to discern energy. I can't emphasize this enough. And when I'm working with my clients, it's the first thing that I do, is to teach energy discernment. Because then, no matter how it's disguised or dressed or how it sounds, you will identify it. You'll identify it by how it feels. And this will give you all the information that you need. So on one hand, we have expectations, as I've just described to you, where it created such a narrow passage for your manifestation that your manifestation couldn't fit. Your manifestation is actually much huger than that. It can't fit, down this narrow pathway. Think about an alley, right, between two city buildings. Can you fit, a big double-wide tractor-trailer truck down there? No, it doesn't fit. That's how big your manifestation is. Those are the parts of it that you don't see because you're looking through this little keyhole. So it's in that moment of despair, of throwing up your hands and saying, that's it, where suddenly that pathway becomes wider and wider. And now it can accommodate the vastness of what the universe wants to deliver to you. And there you have it. It's right there before you. And you look around and say, how did I get here? How did this get here? That's how it happens. Conversely, when we have expectations and we don't live up to those expectations, what happens there? The same kind of thing. The manifestation cannot take place because we are the ones who must live up energetically to support any expectations. Typically, the expectations, unfortunately, are based upon values that are outside of us. They're not based on internal values, personal values that are spiritually based. And I'll talk about this more in the weeks to come. But when you have expectations that you've placed upon yourself that are values based on other people's expectations, I want you to know that you will always be at war with those. It will create havoc in your lives. And I know that you've experienced that already. I know that because I have too. And so, as I have learned to become more discerning of the energies, I can pivot and begin anew. So these expectations are always troublesome. And yet, there is this place within us where they're part of what we anticipate. But the anticipation must come from a feeling, not from a line of soldiers. Okay? The expectation to be totally delighted is something that is yours. It's your gift from the universe, and you can take that all the way to the bank. You will be anticipating with delight how all of this is going to come to fruition. But do so with letting go of the expectations as to how it must look or sound. Because those typically, as I said, are coming from the outside. You're trying to live up to expectations of others, and it will create havoc and erode your sense of self and your relationship with your higher self, which is how all of this manifestation takes place. So I'm going to leave that with you. It's a lot to think about, and yet it's so simple, isn't it? Because it's all about you and understanding that you are the captain of this ship. You. Beautiful you. So with that, I of course want to leave you with an affirmation. I am the creator of my universe. I am the creator of all things within it. I am anticipating with delight my heart's desires coming to life. That's a good one. Okay, so our time has come to an end. Please, if you have found value, if you enjoyed this video, please leave your comments below, like it. I can't thank you enough for those who have been sharing my videos and helping me to build this channel. I do believe this channel is really, really important. The information that comes through me is meant to be shared with you and meant to be shared with as many people as possible. So the more that you participate and contribute to that, the more you are in alignment with this universal abundance as well. And so with that, please subscribe if you haven't. And I look forward to meeting you right back here again next week. I love you and have a wonderful week, anticipating with delight all of your heart's desires coming to life. Bye-bye.